It's called Friday Plans, and it's the only way to get 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra or 20 milligram generic Cialis delivered for just $7. Let me show you. First, scan the QR code to go to getfridayplans.com. Then, you select if you need generic Viagra or Cialis, the quantity you need, 9, and the dosage. I'll pick 100 milligram, thank you very much, and then their system will see if you qualify. Give it a second to find the best deals, and boom. Look at that. 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just $7. 9 tablets of 20 milligram Cialis are the same price. The prescription and shipping are free. Scan the QR code to go to getfridayplans.com and see for yourself.
Oh my God, I won. Guys, I just saw someone win an iPad for under $10.
I got this amazing Japanese knife set for just 75 cents.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56.
There's millions of fast auctions and always something to win on DealDash.com. And today, new users get a $50 bonus credit. Go to DealDash.com right now, how much you'll save.
And shipping is always free.
Got a good news, bad news situation to report here. The Powerball jackpot is now at a whopping $1.7 billion, making it the 3rd largest prize in game history.
That's the good news.
That's the good news. This is the bad. It comes after no one matched all 6 winning numbers in yesterday's drawing. And here I was so confident in my ticket. That means there have been 33 consecutive Powerball drawings without a winner. The next drawing will be Saturday night. The jackpot winner will be able to choose between payments or one lump sum of over $770 million, which is nothing to sneeze about.
You were
Is that
confident.
phrase?
The nation should have heard the stuff that you said to me thinking you weren't going to come into work.
That's not
It
true.
was.
I would keep my job. It is a privilege.
Check out this crazy video out of New Zealand. A driver smashing, oh my gosh, through a glass bike shelter before flying into the ocean at a ferry terminal. You can see, take a look, 73-year-old driver climbing out of the SUV window, trying to stay afloat. Bystanders went running to her aid, one climbing down a ladder, others threw safety rings to her. Officials say the woman was treated by ambulance workers at the scene. That car has been towed to shore. American Eagle shares spiking 25% in after-hours trading yesterday following the release of their second quarter earnings report. The company now touting the success of their campaign with Sydney Sweeney after, of course, that ad you see on the right-hand side of your screen sparked a little controversy.
Did it spark controversy? I hadn't heard. Fox Business host Cheryl Casoni is here with all the details. Hey, Cheryl.
Good morning. Yeah, that's right. They actually had a nice little sales boost thanks to Sydney Sweeney and her jeans and all that controversy. Maybe that actually fueled the powerful numbers that they pulled in. So the CEO of American Eagle Outfitters said that the iconic fall denim campaign with Sydney Sweeney affirms we're the American jeans brand. We saw record-breaking new customer acquisition and awareness cutting across age demographics and genders. Comp sales went up, customer awareness numbers went up, the engagement platforms, that all went up. Even President Trump, remember, had weighed in on the controversy, saying that he thinks that she's fantastic, and especially he was happy when he found out that she's a registered Republican. So, yeah, I mean, they also signed up with Travis Kelce. So they've got that campaign that's going on now, and they've been really trying to get that Gen Z buyer into the store. Seems to be working. You know, they've done Coco Gauff. They had relationships with her, Jenna Ortega. Sydney Sweeney, is on a roll right now. So she just signed a deal with Jimmy Choo. That this is her second campaign for Jimmy Choo. And she seems to be, I don't know, the golden ticket for sales if you're a fashion brand right now. Each character that she's playing, there's Inez, I think Bar, Ban, and Scarlett, for each different section is a shoe. That each represents a shoe. And, you know, this is another win for Sydney Sweeney, and apparently a win for both of the brands that are working with her.
Well, she certainly is everywhere. And from American Eagle to Jimmy Choo, I mean, people who were saying, oh, she's registered Republican, Trump is talking about her career is over, clearly they were wrong.
I was listening to Martha yesterday. She said, in researching for this segment, I did extensive research on Jimmy Choo's, and I thought that was appropriate. A lot of Carla's going to do the same thing.
Well, I'm more in the American Eagle category, if I'm being honest, but that's okay. There's always aspirations. And the Powerball jackpot now at $1.7 billion.
Do not miss Cheryl on Mornings with Maria. I'm going to run down and be there with you in about 15 minutes. Looking forward to it, my friend.
Run fast.
I will.
Thanks, Cheryl.
You have to hear this story. Parents in the city of New Britain, Connecticut, already fed up just 1 week into the school year with buses being delayed hours and bringing kids to wrong drop-off locations. But nothing compares to this. One mom says her son, who's diagnosed with autism, was brought 49 miles in the opposite direction of their home, and it wasn't until she called police that the driver realized, eventually bringing her son to a meetup point in the middle. And a personal apology from the bus company, First Student, for this horrific mistake. That mother, Summers McCrae, joins me now. And Summers, before we get to the bus aspect of this, the bus company aspect of this, as a parent, what's your initial reaction when your child just doesn't come home at the time he's supposed to?
I was worried, very worried when he didn't come home when he was supposed to.
How could you not be? So you called. What did the bus company say when you called?
They put me on hold and said that they had to reach the driver. I was on hold for minutes. Minutes. And they, someone came back on and said to me that, "Oh, give me your phone number and we'll call you back." Then I was just confused because why would you need my phone number to call me back if you have a GPS tracker on the vehicle and you are supposed to be able to contact her? But I did give them my phone number to call me back, but I still end up having to call them back before they called me back because I had GPS my son location from his phone, and I found out he was in Danbury.
That is obviously unacceptable. Let's get to the why of what this happened, because I lived right next to you there in Newington, Connecticut for about 5 years. For those of you that don't know, that aren't familiar with Connecticut, you need to make a concerted effort to head to Danbury, which is the opposite end of this. So what explanation were you given for why this happened?
That the GPS locator stopped working.
Okay, that's fine, but shouldn't the driver, presumably familiar with Connecticut roads, say to themselves, hey, I'm picking up a child in Waterbury, I need to go to New Britain, and when I start seeing signs like, oh, we're headed to New York, in the direction of New York, when we see Danbury signs, hey, maybe I'm going in the wrong direction. Like, that doesn't add up, Summers.
Correct. It doesn't add up. That's why I'm asking for an investigation, because I would like to know where did everything go wrong.
You should. And does it make you wonder what else this bus company is messing up? If it messes up your kid's drop off by 49 miles? Because I'd be wondering, should this driver be on the roads?
Exactly.
First,
I don't even know if she still is on the road or driving children. I have no clue.
Okay, First Student put out this statement. We sincerely apologize for the frustration and inconvenience many families have experienced with student transportation during the first days of this school year. First Student is committed to taking corrective action to stabilize operations and deliver consistent, dependable service. Like many transportation providers, we're experiencing challenges with timely bus deliveries and driver availabilities. The superintendent says this company wasn't really ready for the start of this school year. And they just got this contract this year. My question, Summers, is why apply for this contract if you know you're not going to be able to deliver?
Exactly. They just bit off more than they can chew.
Just quickly, how's your son holding up?
He's fine. We have different transportation now. Thank you to New Britain school system. We have different transportation, and went very well for him Tuesday and Wednesday. Good. And I'm hoping that it continues to go well.
I mean, they call New Britain hard-hitting New Britain. You need to be hard-hitting in this situation, because this cannot happen to your son or any other child.
And this no one else child, no Agreed. Other child. It's
Summers,
unacceptable.
Thanks for joining us. Prayers to you and your son. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now here's Brian Kilmeade to look at what's coming up on Fox and Friends. Hey, Brian.
All right, for your approval, I'm going to tell you what's on the show, and we'll see what Todd decides to nix. A big Thursday morning on the show. That's why we have the music underneath. First Lady Melania Trump is getting busy. She's holding a task force meeting on the push for AI. A lot of big names coming in for a series of tech summits with President Trump, by the way, too. It's going to be 10 of them. I think it's a great idea. Got U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright doing a tremendous job. If you notice how low gas prices have been, he's going to give us a preview of what we can expect when it comes to drilling, when it comes to fracking, and so much more. And the bellwether state, getting down to business. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin is term limited out, but he wants his lieutenant governor to be the next governor. How doing in that quest? Because he is a guy with also a bright future. What will he do next? Also, it's a case that's been the center of speculation for nearly 30 years. JonBenet Ramsey's family is opening up like never before. Her father will be joining us this morning. Chris Chulo, join me on the couch for a second. New York sports. I hate to say, I went to bed. The Yankees winning 4-0.
Yeah, fortunately, bullpen meltdown. Yankees give up a lot of runs. Cody Bellinger, though, in the ninth inning, 3-run homer. They try to get the try to get the Yankees back, but they lose 8-7.
3.5 games back. National League.
National League. Mets also lose. They lose to the Tigers 6-2, and they're 5.5 out of the first place leading Phillies.
What do you think the show's going to be like today?
I think it's going to be great as always.
National news. When they play football, tackle football. Do you know who's playing?
2 teams.
Cowboys and Eagles tonight. I don't think the Cowboys have a shot. Take that, Will Kane.
Wow.
Back in a moment. We'll get Keith slowly up. I like that whole field. We're stuck on the couch.
Do you want to follow him?
Yeah.
You need to clean outdoors, but your weak hose just doesn't cut it anymore. And lugging out that bulky pressure washer is a backbreaking chore. Introducing Hydro X5 by Turbojet, the powerful portable cordless pressure washer. Simply quick connect and let Hydro X5 transform your hose into a pressure washing powerhouse. Now make quick work of driveways, walkways, and patio decks. Easily clear debris, gutters, siding, and fences. Hydro X5 comes equipped with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery for unmatched speed and convenience. It's like putting the power of a pressure washer in the palm of your hand. Look, we even blasted away years of dirt and debris from this wood deck. The secret is an advanced water pressurization technology that creates a precision jet stream 5 times more powerful to reach up and easily clean tall windows without a ladder. Hydro X5 is cordless, lightweight, and precision balanced. Perfect for refreshing patio furniture, getting into corners, crevices, or safely power cleaning screen doors and windows. No hose? No problem. Hydro X5 comes with a water extracting system that works with any bucket or clean water source. Ideal for camping, RVing, and boating. Stop cleaning with that weak hose and power wash like the pros with Hydro X5. Get the complete Hydro X5 pressure washing system for the factory direct price of just $99.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. But to really power up this offer, we'll instantly upgrade your order with the Turbo Foam Cannon to power wash clean all your vehicles and our storage case absolutely free. Order now and get a 50% discount on a second complete system. You get it all at incredible value. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-609-6918 or go online at buyhydrox5.com. Call 1-800-609-6918 or go online at buyhydrox5.com. Order now.
When it's time to start your business, it's time for Shopify. Designed with easy to customize themes, sell everywhere people shop, and never miss a sale with the world's best converting checkout. See why millions of businesses sell with Shopify. Start your free trial today.
No, I don't want to look.
Erica, used car shopping doesn't have to be scary.
Show me Carfax.
Knowing how a car's accident history impacts price means you don't have to overpay. No fear, just Fox. Say, show me at Carfax.com.
Are you tired of that old worn-out bath or shower? Now you can have a new one installed in just one day with a new limited time offer from Jacuzzi Bath Remodel. We're waiving all installation costs with no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Jacuzzi has been making water feel great for over 70 years. And now you can get a gorgeous custom bath remodel at a price you can afford with no stress and no mess.
I've been trying to get him to remodel that bath for years. I called and they did it in just one day.
And at a price we could afford.
Every time I step in my old tub, I worried I might fall. I don't have those fears anymore.
With Jacuzzi, you can get a safer, easy entry shower to keep you feeling comfortable and independent at home. Your new Jacuzzi bath or shower is waiting. Now is the best time to call.
Call or go online right now. We are waiving all installation costs and offering no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-384-1008. Call now.
It's football season, and no matter who you cheer for, we all agree how much college sports mean to us. But it's at risk. Dramatic changes are causing nearly every athletic department in America to operate in the red, forcing cuts, putting women's sports and Olympic dreams in immediate danger. The solution? Congress must modernize the Sports Broadcasting Act. That single change will generate the funding needed to protect all sports at all schools. Let's save college sports before the clock runs out.
Fox Nation has your exclusive ticket to the #1 true crime event. Front row seats to CrimeCon, live in Denver. Inside all of America's hottest crime cases and more. Plus, a powerful live panel hosted by Paul Morrow. Stream CrimeCon live, only on Fox Nation.
Happening today, RFK Jr. set to testify before the Senate Finance Committee to highlight the president's health care agenda, all as Florida is moving to end school vaccine mandates. Florida Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo weighing in on this decision.
Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. Who am I as a government or anyone else, or who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body?
The Active Life Program's Dr. Austin Lake, a functional medicine practitioner, joins us now. Dr. Lake, good morning to you. So what's going to happen to Florida once vaccine mandates are removed?
Well, I mean, I think it's always a good thing to have freedom when it comes to your health care. And so I can't imagine that it would negatively have an impact on Florida, because we've seen that the COVID vaccines have been, especially for the younger population, have been a detriment, not a benefit.
You can certainly expect vaccines to come up when RFK Jr. gets grilled before Congress. So it's going to be what happened at the CDC, why are you firing all these people, what's going on with vaccines, but there'll be an overarching question, an overarching takeaway that I want our audience to be prepared for. And I'm going to ask you this question. Is our country healthier and safer with RFK Jr. at the helm?
Well, I think, just to be wise with that statement, I think that it's too early to be determined, but I think we're on the right path. We'll have to look back in time to see exactly all the benefits that RFK and the MAHA movement are providing. But I think we can't get much worse. When you look at the rates of obesity, look at the rates of ADHD, and you look at the rates of just autoimmunity, even childhood cancer, I think we were moving in the wrong direction. So if anywhere, we can only really go up from here, in my opinion.
So Dr. RFK Jr. wrote a Wall Street Journal op-ed ahead of his testimony today, which is sure to have some fiery moments. And he said in this op-ed, for years the CDC has presided over rising chronic disease, a true modern pandemic. Since 2024, declining life expectancy, trust has collapsed. The American people no longer believe the CDC has their best interest at heart. President Trump has asked me to restore that trust and return the CDC to its core mission. Do you think he'll be able to do those things?
I think he wants to. I think he has a strong desire. The only thing that's going to be in his way is the influence from Big Pharma. There's a lot of money to be made off the sick. We don't incentivize people to help other people get healthy. And I think if we started to do that, where if hey, you want to get paid to help somebody improve their life instead of somebody to get worse off. And I think that's what we've been seeing for the last several decades. And so I think he has a big task in front of him, but I do think it's a really good goal. And I think we are getting the right people in place to start doing that. So that is an encouraging thing.
Outcomes based. I love that. Meantime, switching gears, kids under 16 years of age in England preparing to be banned from buying energy drinks due to the harsh side effects of consumption. We're talking sleep disturbances, agitation, heartbeat abnormalities, diarrhea, jittery, seizures. Do you want to see the U.S. follow suit? About 40 seconds to you, Doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at energy drinks, not only is there a high level of caffeine, which lingers in your system for 7 to 10 hours at a time. So if you're consuming it late in the afternoon, it's going to disrupt your sleep. And I think from my research, about 40 to 50% of kids are consuming these drinks And about 35 to 40% of these same kids are having sleep problems. So now you're having issues with hormonal production. You're requiring stimulants the next day just to kind of get through. And it creates a very vicious cycle. But not only that, there are ingredients in there that are disrupting the gut microbiome, so making their inflammation worse. They are synthetic vitamins, so they're not real. And so they create issues with methylation, which is a detox process. And so there's really a lot of ongoing issues from these consumption of these products. And so I would love to see that because it really just has to happen. I think this is playing into the RFK problem that we're just talking about.
Yeah, and rid of these energy drinks for kids could play into the outcomes-based approach that you're talking about. Dr. Lake, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Fox and Friends starts right now.
All right, here you go. We're going to get started now at 6 a.m. in the East Coast. I'm glad you're awake. It took a while of shaking to get these people alert, but you're now ready for a big show because it's September. Summer's over. President Trump and President Xi are set to talk after Vladimir Putin cozied up with two of America's biggest adversaries. I should say a lot more than just two. We're going to tell you what Trump is saying about all of this.
Meanwhile, RFK Jr. heads to the Hill today with a list of wins on Making America Great. We're going to talk to Maha Senior Advisor Callie Means up next.
And should your kids have to do homework? Kim Kardashian doesn't think so.
Kids are in school for 8 hours a day. When they come home, they need to also then do sports, have a life, spend time with their family. I think the homework should be left for in school.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Let the debate begin.
You and Kim Kardashian are on the same page on everything.
That's right.
It's amazing.
Who would have thought?
They're both reality stars turned political commentators.
Oh, very similar.
Fox and Friends starts right now. So, happening today, President Trump will speak with Ukrainian President Zelensky as they work toward a deal to end the Russia-Ukraine war.
Fox correspondent Lucas Tomlinson joins us live in Washington with those details. Lucas, good morning.
Good morning, Rachel. Yesterday in Beijing marked the first time that Russian President Vladimir Putin met with the leaders of China and North Korea. The first time they were all in place at the same time. And this was President Trump's message to Vladimir Putin when asked yesterday at the White House.
I have no message to President Putin. He knows where I stand, and he'll make a decision one way or the other. Whatever his decision is, we'll either be happy about it or unhappy. And if we're unhappy about it, you'll see things happen.
Now, yesterday, China showcased new nuclear weapons in a large military parade, including its new intercontinental ballistic missile dubbed the DF-61. Trump was asked about the trio of leaders, which some saw as an ominous image to the free world.
My relationship with all of them is very good. We're going to find out how good it is over the next or two. I watched the speech last night. President Xi is a friend of mine, but I thought that the United States should have been mentioned last night during that speech because we helped China very, very much.
Now, Putin claims he's ready to meet with Ukraine's president, saying, quote, if Zelensky is ready for a meeting, let him come to Moscow. Now, Putin also unveiled his peace terms, something we've heard before. What Russia gets, Ukraine concedes control of Donetsk and Luhansk. That's all the Donbas region, of course. Frees the front lines in Kherson and Zaporizhia. And the U.S. recognizes Russia's sovereignty over captured land. That's likely a non-starter, guys. What Russia concedes, it's willing to negotiate over small slivers of Sumy and the Kharkiv regions. And Russia's open to discussing security guarantees for Ukraine. Russia has said it's not open to Western forces being in Ukraine. Now, Ukraine's president says any retreat from the Donbas would leave his country exposed and give Putin a base for future attacks. As you mentioned off the top, Lauren, Zelensky and other European leaders are meeting in Paris today, led by the leaders of Britain and France. And President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, is also in attendance in Paris today. Yes.
So, Lucas, we know he offered, hey, I'll meet with Zelensky, just have him come to Moscow. But he also says over and over again, Zelensky's not a legitimate leader of Ukraine. And his point is he's gone past his 5-year term. But the Constitution of Ukraine specifically says if you're at war, you can't have elections.
That's correct, Brian. We saw that during World War II in Britain. They didn't hold elections for 10 years, although Churchill was later defeated. Didn't even make the VJ Day, the victory over Japan. But that's likely, this is what officials say, is Putin stalling for more time, Brian.
No question. Thanks, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas. Talked with some sources close to the president yesterday, and the best way they described it is the president is calm, cool, collected. That he realizes the games that they're playing right there. That's why he released that statement saying, good luck conspiring against the United States. He knows exactly what's going to happen. Now, he wanted to give peace a shot, and he wants to want peace. But the economic pressure that these countries are experiencing right now is only going to increase if they continue to plot against the United States in its interests.
Yeah, I definitely think the president wants peace, and he's going to continue to move in that direction. But I also think that President Trump realizes that the real enemy is China. That's his focus. And I think the conversations with Putin that he had in Alaska were not just about Ukraine. I believe they also have to do with the Western Hemisphere. President Trump wants China out of the Western Hemisphere, and he wants Russia to not interfere on behalf of Nicolas Maduro in the case of Venezuela. So I think this is a big dynamic game of chess that's being played right now. I thought it was really interesting, this hike that was caught. Putin and Xi were caught on this hot mic. They were talking about immorality, but they were also talking about something else, very immoral. Listen.
In the past, people rarely lived longer than 70 years, but today they say at 70 you are still a child.
Biotechnology is continuously developing. Human organs can be continuously transplanted. The longer you live, the younger you become, and even achieve immortality.
Some predict that in this century, humans may live up to 150 years old.
Couple of things.
Weirdos.
Yeah,
100%.
Total weirdos. And there's an organ problem in where they're stealing organs from prisoners and from the Uyghurs. This is not like science fiction. This is stuff that Xi is being accused of in real time.
I'm pretty sure President Xi and Putin aren't going to go on an organ donor list and wait for their name to be called. So there's some 22-year-old there about to give up his liver. So we'll see how that goes. But the bigger story is this. They wanted us to see that the world could exist no longer as America's the premier power. They want you to see in that North Korea, that mutant. They want you to see that Belarus, who's a sycophant who basically signed over his whole country because he lost an election over to Russia. They want you to see Russia, China. Every day they describe how close they are. I'm surprised they don't eventually make out on camera, and we'll see if they eventually team up. But here's the bigger story. I love the president's cool, calm reaction to what's going on. Oh, they wanted me to watch. I watched. Yeah. I watched everything. I noticed you talked about World War II, but nice if you gave the U.S. some credit. He's right, because if you see what they did, they actually talked about China winning World War II and didn't even talk about our role in beating Japan. So the president really is into America's success, doesn't like that. What he's trying to say is, I know you're tough guys. We got it. I tried to give you respect.
That's right.
I gave you respect for 4 years, and I gave you respect for 4 years and 8 months. Time to show it now, because I'm going to come down hard if you don't take the off-ramp, Vladimir Putin, that I gave. And we're watching. Did you see the interdiction yesterday that Jeanine Pirro announced? Precursors to the drugs coming to South America, and they said that it's enough to fill 8 18-wheelers. Guess where it's coming from? China. Now, we don't need to say China. You're at the base of all this illegal drug use, but we're getting there. That's why the original tariffs went on. But first, he's going to start blowing up all the distributors, like that boat, that fast boat that went up, and he's putting pressure on. You know what his mind is on? New Hampshire cities, Iowa cities, downtown Los Angeles. He's thinking about American cities that are affected by illegal drug use, and he's stopping it at its core.
So the president's been very intentional here. And I think you're seeing it when it comes to this war. It's a different war on drugs. It's going after the enemy. This is not...
It's not just say no.
No, this is going straight to the source. And he did it with Venezuela. And I thought it was so fascinating because we had the Secretary of Defense yesterday, and he gave us some information about what took place there. But Marco Rubio really brought this home. He said, look, they could have over the boat. They've been doing it for years. The Coast Guard will pull it over. But he goes, the president made it the decision to take it out of the water. Let's watch.
What will stop them is when you blow them up, when you get rid of them. So they were designated as what they are narco-terrorist organizations. So the same nation and the same intelligence mechanisms with maybe a higher focus was used to determine that a drug boat was headed towards eventually the United States. And instead of interdicting it, on the president's orders, he blew it up. And it'll happen again. Maybe it's happening right now. I don't know. But the point is, the president of the United States is going to wage war on narco-terrorist organizations. This one was operating in international waters, headed towards the United States to flood our country with poison. And under President Trump, those days are over.
Yeah, this is part of a much bigger, let's go meta here. This is a new doctrine. And I think what you're seeing President Trump do is pivot from the old war, from Europe, even from the Middle East, and moving into our own hemisphere. He's saying our neighborhood is the most important thing we can take care of. And so what you're seeing is he's sending a message, not just to, because the cartels control, they control 40% of the landmass in Mexico. They control all kinds of airspace and waterways. And he's saying no more of this. And it's not just a message to the cartels, and it's not just a message to Nicolas Maduro and even to Claudia Sheinbaum in Mexico, but it is to China. All of this, as you mentioned before, China is in bed with all of these bad actors. And President
Argentina,
Trump,
Ecuador, who's not a bad actor, but they still have deals with them.
Well, there are financial deals there, but also there's on the criminal side as well. They have had free reign in our hemisphere, and President Trump is saying, no more. And that's why interdicting isn't enough.
No.
We're going to blow you up. We're going to destroy the cartels. And it's going to send a message to everybody that there's a new sheriff in town.
Couple of things. I'm going to just amend something you said. I think that he is focusing on Central and South America like a president we haven't seen.
Absolutely.
But I think he's doing it all. I don't think he's taking his eyes off the Middle East. No. I don't think he's taking his eyes off China. I think he's keeping his eyes on everything. That's what he does. I mean, he's having a tech meeting with all the tech titans, 10-part meeting that begins. At the same time, he's focused on America 250. At the same time, he says, Panama Canal, Venezuela, then we're going to reclaim through the Monroe Doctrine what was put in place in the 19th century. We're going to reclaim the hemisphere, but at the same time, I think he's still keeping his eye on what's happening with Israel and China.
He's keeping his eye on everything, but make no mistake, the southern hemisphere, the western hemisphere is resource rich. All the lithium and all the critical minerals, there's oil, there's so much there, and we've ceded so much of it to China. Ports even, we've ceded to China in our own hemisphere. So this is a new move to say we need, our backyard matters more than what happened miles and miles away. That's kind of MAGA. Well, that's America first, and that's also America's first.
Well, he also has some allies in other countries as well. And the opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, she's been on the forefront. I love how bilingual she is, too. She can send a message in both languages. Program later on has received a lot of death threats. They are trying to go after this woman, but she's been leading the charge in
She
Venezuela.
is the bravest woman in all of Latin America, and we're going to have her on the show today.
Can't wait.
Yeah, Maduro bragging about his relationship with China, holding up his Huawei phone, saying America can't hack it. Well, what did China do when we went into Iran? They watched. What are they going to do if we take control of Venezuela through allowing them to pick their own leaders? Pressuring Maduro. He got 30% of the vote in the last election. He lost 70-30, and he held on to the job. Joe Biden said, if you have free and fair elections, we'll allow Exxon to go back in there and pump oil. And we allowed everyone to go back in there. And guess what? He made a catastrophe of the election, made a sham of it, and Joe Biden did nothing.
That's right. Well, we're going to have her on and what's going on, how she's feeling after these attacks, and also how the repression has gone through the roof since those attacks. So we're going to talk about that.
Well, RFK is going to be front and center today. Yep. He's going to be under scrutiny about the changes at the CDC and others. Also, his vaccine policy, where he's examining everything, making the COVID shots mandatory, followed by Florida saying, I am not going to make any vaccines mandatory. It is rocking the metal.
Well, Dr. Oz has made it very clear you got to have the courage to be a change agent. This is something that the president campaigned on. This is what he had to say on the story yesterday.
Let me just offer one little quote that Secretary Kennedy offered us last week. We were in a staff meeting. It was actually from his father, and he said, progress requires change, but change has enemies. And the secretary is a powerful and strong man, and he has powerful and strong enemies as well. But he said from day one, certainly when he offered me this position at CMS, he said, we want to put the human back in Health and Human Services, and that should be the absolute focus.
I just hope the critics understand that they lost a good amount of goodwill with the American public with all the stuff that he did with COVID and all the stuff that we predicted. And we said that it started in the lab and the vaccine hoaxes that were going on and all that. And they pushed back and went after and censored the American people. And now they feel like they have the wind behind their sails, and they don't have it right now.
Yeah, listen, I never thought that 2 years before, after, so much of the stuff has been covered by COVID and the vaccines, that we would live in a world in America where Florida says it's up to the parents to decide whether to vaccinate their kids or not. Times are changing. It's amazing.
We'll see how big this gets. And how do you feel about that? Do you want vaccines to be your choice as parents? Does he put everybody in those classes in those schools in danger? Callie Means, a senior advisor to the MAHA movement, really at the foundation of it, now serving coming up at 6:30 today. Do not miss that.
Meanwhile, Carly has some other headlines.
Hello, guys. Good morning. Great to see you. Got an update out of Montana here. The man accused of killing 4 people inside a Montana bar pleading not guilty yesterday as he faces new charges. 45-year-old Michael Paul Brown allegedly opened fire inside a bar near his home before leading police on a week-long manhunt. In addition to 4 counts of murder, he's being charged with attempted arson for allegedly trying to start a fire inside that bar before returning and opening fire. He is also charged with theft and eluding law enforcement after police say he stole a truck before escaping into a forest where he was later caught. Federal officers seizing 1,300 barrels of meth chemicals they say that China shipped for Mexican drug cartels. U.S. District Attorney for D.C., Janine Pirro, calling it the largest bust of pre-chemicals in history.
Bottom line is this. Whenever there is an effort on the part of foreign terrorist organizations to create drugs that are killing Americans, we will seize them, whether it's on the high seas or whether it's in the country or a foreign country.
Officials say the chemicals would have been used to make more than 400 pounds of meth with an estimated street value of at least $569 million. The Powerball jackpot is now up to a whopping $1.7 billion, making it the 3rd largest prize in the game's history. This comes after no one matched all 6 winners in last night's drawing, and that means there have now been 33 consecutive Powerball drawings without a winner. The next drawing will be Saturday night, and whoever wins will be able to choose between installed payments over time or a lump sum of over $770 million, which becomes just over $485 million after taxes. A new survey shows Gen Z is leading the way in church attendance. Older generations fall behind. Researchers from Barna Group finding that the average Gen Zer attends 23 services per year. For Gen Xers, it was 19, and Boomers went about 17 times a year. Researchers believe the trend might be because less committed churchgoers have simply stopped going. So this trend in young people going to church continues. A religious resurgence.
I don't understand what that last statement meant. Because there's more room in the pews, the younger people are going? Like, what are they saying? Like,
no, go ahead.
So Gen's going because no one else is? Is that what they're saying?
No, I think they were saying that we're on the fence about going, are now just no longer going. And I think reasons boomers, like they say that boomers are going to church less. You do have to take into consideration that they're getting older. They may watch church at home, services at home.
COVID did that too. A lot of people started watching it at home
on TV services. Yes.
I have a theory on it. My theory is that if you look at what religions they're changing to, they're going to Orthodox and Catholic. I think a lot of the AI and this weird dystopian tech world we're living in, disconnected. They're looking for very rooted ancient traditions that have ritual and meaning. And I think that's what you're seeing. If you're seeing if you look at by denominations, Catholics are having and Orthodox are getting a huge spike.
I also think there's a feeling of desperation when it comes to young people, and they're realizing that it's not all within their wheelhouse, that sometimes you need a higher power. You need, You need God and stability. And when you look at them, they can't get houses today. The job market is not the best for young people. And I think they're returning to faith as a result of that.
Right. A couple of things. It's not because of marketing. It's all natural. It's not like, well, I saw that great commercial, I'm going to go to church. This is all innate and organic.
Although on social media, the Catholics have been very good because it's a very visual, like sort of religion, and so and the aesthetic is very visual, so it does well on social media. So the Catholics and the Orthodox have been doing, making a lot of advances, promoting themselves through social media.
Well, the long debate. How much homework should kids get at the end of the day? Does it make them a better student? We watched the Asian culture. A lot of them have success. They go, well, because the kids work so hard in school, and then they work so hard at after school.
So Kim K is taking it on. Watch.
I don't believe in homework.
That's what I knew. I knew he was. You know what I'm saying, bro? And I knew like, what is homework? What's homework?
No, but I'm going to tell you why. Because, like, they're in school for 8 hours a day. When they come home, like, they need to also do sports, have a life, spend time with their family. I think the homework should be left for, like, in school.
So Kai is a big streamer, has a massive audience and everything, so they're taking it on. I would say I have no problem with homework. That being said, can we get actual school, like, done first? The kids can't read and they can't do math. So that starts at the school.
The answer?
I'm not saying that less homework. I'm just saying that they need a good foundation. They're not even reading. How are they going home to do homework if the kids aren't reading? So we got to start with a foundation first.
I do think there's a lot of homework that comes home, and my kids go to a great school. I love their school. I think that kids should have a break. They come home, they want to just play outside. They want to be with their family. They want to have dinner. I'm totally agreeing with her. They've got 8 hours to get it done. Get it done there. Maybe there's a special report that they have to work on or special project.
So make it long-term projects.
But this idea of like just sitting down for hours after when they need a break.
You had to move from Wisconsin to New Jersey, so you have your kids all different ages. Have you noticed did one school have less homework than the other school, and did you notice a difference?
No, I think it was about the same. My kids go now to a classical Catholic school, and
thanks, Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, that's right. Pete Hegseth convinced me I should send my kids to classical school, and that was one of the best decisions I ever made. But I think that, I just think they come home tired. They just want, and you need family time.
I'm okay with limiting the homework, but the video games and all that, you can't.
I don't have video games in my house.
Well, they're smart. They're smart, but a lot of parents have the video games, and they just stay online all day, and I don't think that's productive either.
I think we should just kick them outside to play.
I like that. That's what my mom did.
All right, but then you need friends, and they don't make friends because they're on the video games all day.
But if you have a big family, you don't need friends.
Right, that's true. Okay.
They are your friends.
Right, they are your friends.
Your friends are in the
You're
house.
stuck with them. You had no choice.
We want to hear from
meet
you.
your friends.
Friends at foxnews.com. We want to get your thoughts.
What do you think about the homework? Does it reaffirm where we're dialing it back?
All right. So we've got a big show ahead. U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, and so much more.
Plus, would you eat lab-grown? We're going to tell you all about that controversy.
Right. They made my meat under a hemp. And Democrats claim crime isn't a problem in Chicago, but tell that to mom whose teen daughter was murdered. Why she supports Donald Trump's crack if it happens next.
We came to Abu Dhabi searching for a unique vacation destination. It's one of the safest cities in the world, with everything you could possibly want in a 5-star escape. We start each day with morning yoga. After that, a short hike in the desert mountains, hot stones, and complete stillness. A delicious meal, a glass of wine, and horses? Abu Dhabi is full of surprises in the best way.
Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun.
Sandals Jamaica sale is now on. For the best all-inclusive value in the Caribbean, visit sandals.com or call 1-800-SANDALS.
Climbing up
up on Salisbury Hill. I could see the city light, my heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. So come on, take me home, back home. So come on, take me.
Save up to 50% on select styles of beautiful new carpet, hardwood, vinyl, and laminate from Empire Today. We'll beat any competitor's offer, guaranteed. Visit EmpireToday.com or call
800-588-2300. Today. At Bob's, furniture heroes like Kimberly have small space solutions for every budget, like sectionals with hidden storage, pop-up sleepers, and bedroom sets or Chesser at no extra charge.
Oh my Bob's Discount Furniture.
Everyone's getting that new Simply Safe outdoor monitoring.
How do we compete with AI-powered outdoor cameras and live agent monitoring?
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Whoa! I didn't even see those guys. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Lowe's knows when you start grilling, the guest list starts growing. That's why we help you get everything you need and more.
Mind if I crash the party?
Dak Prescott.
To help make the most out of every gathering this fall.
Appreciate you guys.
Never thought this would happen.
We got you.
When disaster threatens to put production weeks behind, call the team prepared to be there in minutes. ServPro, like it never even happened.
Buying a car is kind of a big deal. You need to see all the options. See, she knows. Car Gurus gives you the most new and used cars right in your hand, so you know your big deal is the best deal. Car Gurus, the #1 most car shopping site.
Janine Pirro on Primetime.
We announce a very significant seizure.
Going inside the massive meth bust and what it takes to keep America safe. The live interview tonight.
This might be a surprise. I don't like traditional makeup. The first time I got my makeup done when I was 15, it made me look awful. I like makeup makes you look like yourself, but better. Miracle Balm is the center of my beauty philosophy. It's not just makeup, it's not just skincare, it's both. It gives you moisture, and it only takes a nanosecond to put it on. It just makes you glow and look healthy. It's the ultimate you, but better product. Learn more at jonesroadbeauty.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing and head over to Fabletics, because right now everything is 80% off. That's right, everything, including their all-new Dawn pant. The pants that feel and look better than jeans. The lightweight, do-it-all one short and jogger. The training, Performance Tech Fundamental Short. Lined, unlined, and inseam options. Shirts, tees, polos, 80% off. Shorts, pants, joggers, 80% off. Gym, office, golf, 80% off. Whatever you need, Fabletics has it. Get 80% off everything right now when you sign up as a new VIP, only at Fabletics.com.
The cavalry is coming! Squire! We need a miracle!
I just won big on Deal Dash.
To the chariot! A brand new for $6,000!
I don't know how to use it, but I won a brand new iPad on Deal Dash for $6.
Someone even won a rare Picasso! And I won a luxury Caribbean cruise for $2 on Deal Dash.
Visit DealDash.com for $50 of free credit and your first win, guaranteed.
We could straighten out Chicago. All they have to do is ask us to go into Chicago if we don't have the support of some of these politicians. But I'll tell you who is supporting us, the people of Chicago.
So President Trump says the people of Chicago support his plan to send in the National Guard and others, despite city leaders reject the idea. Our next guest knows the city's crime crisis all too well. 5 years ago, Jaya was shot and killed while at a convenience store. Naisha Beeman joins us now. Naisha, first off, sorry for your loss, and can you give me your thoughts, first off, on what the president said? If the governor asks, I'd like to help. If he doesn't, it's going to make it difficult. What would you like the governor to do?
I would like the governor to ask for help, because the things that's in place right now is not working. Labor Day weekend was a 77 increase in violence since last year. 72, over 72. It was 58 shootings, I think 8 fatalities, and it's not working.
So they hit us with some stats, and they said this has been the safest summer since the 1960s, 123 homicides, 278 total homicides through August 31st for the year. And it's horrible, but not compared to other past summers. They said it's down 23%. What's your answer to those stats?
I don't feel safer with those sets. We don't feel safer, you know. We scared to sit in our cars. We scared to have our kids walking to school. I don't feel safer with those stats.
How often do you see police officers in your neighborhood?
I don't. I think we need like beat cops walking the streets instead of just riding past. I don't see cops often, not at all.
So could you tell me what happened to your daughter?
My daughter was 18, still a child. I know the law says that she was grown, but she was still a bubbly teenager. She left the Shedd Aquarium with the afternoon with a friend, went to a neighborhood store, convenience store, to get snacks, and 3 individuals shot blindly in the store, killing her and wounding 4 others.
Did you ever find out who the killer was?
Well, it was 3 of them. One of them was 15, and he got a slap on the wrist. The other 2, they didn't charge. And that's the norm here. You know, you get a 15-year-old to do the dirty work, and he don't get that much time, so he's not going to who's involved. So that's how it goes.
What was Jaya like?
She was a kind-hearted, sweet-hearted person, a social butterfly, loved people, loved dancing, loved cupcakes.
You're never going to get over that. You have other children, and after that, you made a move, and you said, I'm getting out of the public school system. I'm going to go to private schools. And that's not easy. You said, you told me in the break, it's about $16,000 that you have to come up with to send your kid. You all paying taxes for the failing schools to go into these schools. What does the private school give you that the public didn't? Safety.
Smaller classroom sizes, that the teachers can have more control over the classrooms. And I have a set of twins, so that's $16K per kid, not including books and meals. But I respect the teachers, but I have to do what's best for me as a parent.
Right.
Losing a child to gun violence, and then you seeing the violence steady gets worse in the city, and then I have to have a decision.
Right.
I couldn't send my kids to public schools anymore.
It's easy to sit in the governor's mansion or a mayor's house and say, there is no problem, leave us alone, we got it. Listen to former Chicago Lightfoot.
This is not about violent crime, and I don't think we should pretend that this manufactured crisis and his attempt to provoke people in Chicago is legitimate exercise of power. It is not. I also know there are red cities in red states that have higher per capita rates of gun violence and other violent crime that we're not hearing coming out of the president's mouth as the places where he really wants to go.
She says, even though she doesn't have the job anymore, she says you don't need the help. How dare you? It's a provocative movement, manufactured crisis. Your thoughts?
Well, my daughter was killed under her leadership. Yes, we have other cities with maybe higher crimes, but we're not looking at the population. So, of course, they're going to say it's higher crimes compared to their population. So it's kind of, we're not safe here. We don't need, it's like forget the power struggle, let's do what's right for the people, the citizens that's tax-paying. I'm a tax citizen, and I have to go out to make sure my kid's safe. I have to pay for transportation that gets them back and forth. I was able to take the bus to public transportation to school, but I have to pay for my kids a driver to make sure they get in and out safely.
That is not the way you should be living. The president help, and all they see is politics, in my view. Nyesha, so sorry for your loss, but I think it's really important to hear your story, a real-life story, not a statistic. Thank you very much. And best of luck with your children. Meanwhile, RFK Jr. heading to the Hill today to defend his signature Maha movement. We're talking to one of his top advisors after the break, and an update on the Gilgo Beach serial killer case that could change the whole trial.
Sail through the heart of historic cities and unforgettable scenery with Viking. Unpack once and get closer to iconic landmarks, local life, and cultural treasures. Because when you experience Europe on a Viking longship, you'll spend less time getting there and more time being there. Viking, exploring the world in comfort.
Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's stands tall in our unwavering commitment to honoring our heroes. We extend our gratitude beyond words by proudly offering a legendary salute discount to those our freedoms. Our dedication to those who selflessly serve us runs deep with our DNA. It's not just a discount, it's a commitment to making a difference. Because every day is a chance for us to say thank you. Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
At the Farmer's Dog, our recipe is more than the ingredients we choose. It's what we choose to do with them. Developed by our vet nutritionists, all our food is made to the highest safety standards and has clinically proven benefits. It's gently cooked to deliver the nutrients your dog needs without the ultra-processing. Because good ingredients matter, but the best recipes call for so much more. Get 50% off your first box, available only at thefarmersdog.com.
It's football season, and no matter who you cheer for, we all agree how much college sports mean to us. But dramatic changes are causing nearly every athletic department in America to operate in the red, forcing cuts, putting women's sports and Olympic dreams in immediate danger. The solution? Congress must modernize the Sports Broadcasting Act. That single change will generate the funding needed to protect all sports at all schools. Let's save college sports before the clock runs out.
In business, hiring the right people isn't just important, it's everything. And ZipRecruiter makes it easy. What I love about ZipRecruiter is that you post a job and you get skilled, qualified candidates. It uses AI technology to get you results really fast. I'm talking about people who actually show up and make your life and your business better. ZipRecruiter, rated the #1 hiring site because it works. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/Marcus.
Hi, I'm Jay Jackson. For almost 20 years, Abacus Life has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors. And in just seconds, you can use the free calculator at abacuspays.com to learn what your policy might be worth.
The premiums were getting unreasonable.
We just didn't need the coverage anymore. Don't sell or lapse your policy without going to abacuspays.com first. There are no fees and no obligations. Get the real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus.
The Tempur-Pedic Breeze makes sleep feel cool. So no more sweating all night or blasting the air conditioning, because the Tempur-Breeze feels up to 10 degrees cooler all night long. Don't miss our biggest sale of the year with savings up to $700 on select adjustable mattress sets.
This school year, they get independence. You get peace of mind with Life 360.
T-bone, chicken, bacon, salmon, ground beef, ribeye, Ranchers.
Good Ranchers delivers the best meat and seafood America has to offer, and we ship it straight to your door from real farms and ranches right here in the USA. So whether it's beef, chicken, pork, or seafood, you know it's gonna be
Say hello to needle-free Neffy, the only epinephrine nasal spray for emergency treatment of allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Use at first signs of allergic reaction. Ask doctor how to use Neffy. Certain medical conditions may worsen. Tell your doctor about nasal, heart, or conditions, high blood pressure, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, and all medications. Side effects include nasal discomfort, headache, runny nose, shakiness, and throat irritation. Say hello to your doctor and ask about needle-free Neffy.
CBITS, your mom told you to find a job.
Hello?
You made a company instead. To keep your growing, you needed an advisor built for the middle market. Accounting, advisory, insurance, and more. CBIS, insights that impact.
Lowe's knows when you start grilling, the guest list starts growing. That's why we help you get everything you need and more.
Mind if I crash the party? Dak Prescott.
To help make the most out of every gathering this fall.
Appreciate you guys. Welcome back. It is feeling like early September out on Fox Square, as it should. There are some spots across the country where it is going to be feeling a whole lot cooler, feeling a little bit later in the year. Look at some of these early morning numbers. 34 degrees in Marquette, 36 degrees in Fargo, 44 in Minneapolis. Some true cold air is settling in across the country. Certainly something we're going to be paying attention to today, where ultimately some of these areas warm up only into the upper 50s, low 60s, feeling more like early October, despite the fact that, yes, it is early September. Now, this is not the case across the country. There's still some summer-like weather out there. Look at that, 102 degrees in Dallas today. Still 98 degrees in Phoenix, 97 degrees in Houston. Those are your weather headlines from out on Fox Square. For now, I'll toss it back inside to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Adam.
Yep.
Well, today, HHS Secretary RFK Jr. is set to testify before the Senate Finance Committee as Democrats call for his resignation after last week's CDC director ouster. RFK Jr. defending that shakeup in a Wall Street Journal op-ed, pointing out, quote, the CDC has presided over rising disease, a true modern pandemic, and since 2014, declining life expectancy. Ouch. And he says that he's vowing to restore the CDC's focus on infectious disease. MAHA Senior Advisor Callie Means joins us now. Callie, thanks for coming back on here. So Secretary Kennedy testifying before the Senate committee. What do you expect to happen? And how do you expect them to receive this information about his renewed focus on chronic diseases versus what they were doing before?
Rachel, Secretary Kennedy's been preparing all week. I have never seen him more fired up. I'm very excited about this hearing. And I think what's so exciting is that the American people had the choice before them framed very starkly in the past week. You know, we saw these resignations from the CDC, and the lead spokesperson for science, the person who's been on dozens of media networks, Dr. Dimitri Desalakis, we learned who that was. We learned who these experts. This is a man who on Christmas Day posted a picture of devil worship. This is a man who, under the Biden administration, in his official capacity, argued for the legitimacy and normalcy of orgies. This is a man who argued for 2-year school lockdowns. This is a man who said it's bigoted to use the word mother, need to use the word birthing person, and criticize the Trump administration for trying to end child mutilation. This is the type of person that the media is holding up as scientific experts, and it's framed the choice very clearly of what Secretary Kennedy and President Trump, the type of people they're trying to get out of the CDC. The CDC has overseen a Chernobyl-level failure with their COVID response and what's happening to child chronic disease. They receive an F on their goal of controlling disease. And Secretary Kennedy is going to go in there today, talk about that choice for the American people of status quo versus reform, and talk about the most successful healthcare and food.
To see people with such bad results on health, criticizing someone coming in with a new approach, trying to address chronic disease. I want to move to this right now because Texas is the latest state to ban lab-grown meat. And for 2 years, the critics have called this move unconstitutional. They say it has nothing to do with public safety. Seems like common sense that we don't want lab-grown meat, this Frankenstein food. But talk to me about who's behind the push for lab-grown meat. Who wants this stuff?
Well, first, I just got to commend Texas. Secretary Kennedy and I were just there. They are passed slate of MAHA bills on food labeling, banning soda from SNAP, over-the-counter ivermectin. And we really support, the administration really supports the state efforts and supports federalism. Yeah, quite frankly, Rachel, the climate agenda has declared war on our ranchers. We've had Gates and people from the Biden administration saying that the best way to solve our environmental crisis is to put ranchers out of business. I'll tell you, it's pretty inspiring seeing Secretary Rowland, Secretary Kennedy absolutely going to war for American ranchers, going to war for American farmers. The answer is whole food.
Exactly. I was just going to say, of course, I'm all for small farms and our ranchers, and I do think there's a war on these industries, especially on the small scale side. But we don't have a lot of time, but I just want, what happens to your body when you eat these fake foods?
You know, I don't want to get into any specific food, and I know the administration's looking at these on a case-by-case basis. I can tell you one thing, Rachel. We need to get back to whole food and away from ultra-processed food. The fact is we don't know all the science of what this ultra-processed is doing to our body, but today in America, 70% of a child's diet is ultra-processed frankenfood, where in Europe it's only 15%. So we and you'll see this with the Maha Commission report next week, Rachel. This administration is evangelizing ranchers, evangelizing farmers, and working to put whole food on a child's plate.
Absolutely. The future of food is in the past. No doubt about that. Callie Means, always great talk.
Thanks, Rachel.
You got it. Look at this, a multi-million-dollar yacht sinking just 15 minutes after beginning its maiden voyage. We're going to tell you what happened. Wow.
Here we are, patient billing.
Whoa, who's that?
Oh, well, that's Mark. He marks us.
340B medicine markups?
Bingo. As a nonprofit, we might pay a penny for a medicine. Mark marks it up to thousands of dollars, and we pocket the difference.
I hear we're buying up small hospitals, too.
More medicines to mark up.
It's really been a gift having Mom live with us. But as a nurse, my training told me she needed more help than I could provide. So I connected with a place for Mom. My senior living advisor understood our unique situation. She quickly recommended Community Stores. A place for Mom helped us get to a decision. And now, Mom is so well cared for.
Talk to an expert senior living advisor today at no cost to your family.
Thanks for calling Consumer Cellular, ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction.
Hi, my friend Linda has you guys and gets way better coverage than I do.
Sounds like Linda has you beat.
Not at bowling.
You're breaking up a little.
Are you really ranked #1 in coverage?
Yep. And plans start at just $20.
Oh, we could afford lessons for Linda. You're embarrassing yourself.
At least my phone works.
Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage satisfaction. Call or visit Consumer Cellular today.
I was tired of sitting on the sidelines. Now, thanks to Jointivia, I'm back in the swing of things. Wait, $70 for a refill?
You gotta try Single Care. Just look up your prescription, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and save.
Really?
Really. Single Care crushes the cost of my prescription, almost as much as I'm crushing Chad.
Unbelievable. See why more people are saving with Single Care. Common side effects include shockingly lower prices, excessive fist bumps, and humbling guys named Chad.
Whether it's your future health, your future income, or your future happiness, becoming an AARP member today can help. Join now for just $11 per year with a 5-year term and get a second membership free. Call or go online to join today, because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Guys, how frustrating is it to find a great pair of jeans? Too tight here, too loose there, too long there? Standard jeans use just 2 measurements. Taylor Custom Jeans use 7 different measurements to give you the perfect fit. Your phone can measure you right now. Download the Taylor app on iOS or Android. Choose from hundreds of styles. Taylor measures you digitally and is 20% more accurate than a professional tailor. With free shipping and a money-back guarantee, get your new favorite pair of jeans today. Taylor, available on the Apple App Store or Android.
When news breaks,
I'm Martha McCallum, and this is Ray.
Martha breaks down the big picture with smart insight to make sense of it all. The Story with Marlem on Fox News.
You wouldn't grill a steak with a hairdryer. It's not the right tool for the job. So why are you still using the wrong deodorant? That's why we made Mando, deodorant re-engineered to work differently. Mando doesn't cover up the stink with fragrance. It attacks odor-causing bacteria. Stop the bacteria. Stop the odor. Oh. So if you're looking for a deodorant that keeps you fresh all day long, try Mando, the right tool for the job.
What if getting older didn't mean living with joint discomfort, brain fog, or low energy? Qualia Senolytic is the only all-in-one clinically tested formula with 9 ingredients designed to help your body clear aging cells. Taken just 2 days a month, this regimen works at the cellular level to rejuvenate energy and support longevity, helping you stay active and energized. With Qualialytic, life truly gets better with age. Start today at qualialife.com/TV.
So, Idaho killer Bryan Kohberger's handwritten guilty plea revealing he has multiple mental health disorders. Kohberger writing that he was diagnosed in February with autism, OCD, ADHD, and avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, also known as ARFID. Fox News contributor and criminal defense attorney Joshua Ritter joins us now. What do you make of this, Joshua? Is this an early diagnosis? Did this really happen that recently? Or does he show that he's been dealing with some mental health problems for a long time?
Well, we knew about him possibly being on the autism spectrum from his attorneys. They had talked about this during the lead up to trial. They were hoping to introduce some of that as evidence during trial. The judge had shut that down, but they were at least hoping to present that as mitigation if we went to a possible penalty phase in considering the death penalty. So it's not all that entirely new, but I don't think it would have had an effect on the trial itself. It certainly isn't something that would disqualify him from being held criminally responsible for the murders.
Do you think that's why they gave him that deal? Is his mental health issues in the end?
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, these were kind of background noise, the idea that he may have been dealing with these mental health issues. Again, none of this goes towards like what we would consider an assessment of sanity in committing the crimes, or whether or not he could have the proper intent in his mind to have committed the crimes. From a criminal justice perspective, from the prosecutor's perspective, none of this is disqualifying. I don't think they considered it at all in offering him that deal.
Roger that. Another case I want you to weigh in on is the ketamine queen. She becomes the 5th person to plead guilty to providing drugs that killed Friends star Matthew Perry. She's being sentenced in December. I guess my big question is this a turn in the criminal justice system that they're going really after the dealers? Not even if they dealed on a large scale, but if they can prove that they gave the fatal dose, the courts are now going after them.
I think that's an absolutely correct assessment, at least anecdotally from my perspective. It does appear as though prosecutors are becoming far more aggressive about this, and I applaud that, quite frankly. And we're not just talking about dealers, but we're talking about people dealing with, quote unquote, legal drugs, legal medications. This isn't some sort of street drug and they're going after the dealer for lacing it with fentanyl. This is a prescribed medication. Doctors were involved. They felt that they were operating a legal business, but they knew that they're dealing with someone who had no reason to have these kind of drugs, that it was somebody who had a history of substance abuse. They were over-prescribing him. They viewed him as a cash cow, and I think the government was to go after her, and she's looking at a considerable amount of time in prison because of this.
I want to get you to weigh in on another case, and you and I have gone back and forth on what the courts is going to eventually rule when it comes to DNA. And there's another case, the Gilgo Beach murder. They're saying that the DNA evidence in that case is admissible.
Yeah, we're talking about whole genome sequencing was the issue at play here. They had a long hearing called a Fry hearing that took place over several days, that was continued over several weeks, in fact, and it's huge. It's a huge win for the prosecution. This dealt with rootless hairs found on 6 of the 7 victims in this case. If they didn't win this, the prosecution, they would have had major problems, I think, even bringing this case to trial. So it's a huge win, and essentially what it does is sets a new in New York so that they can have this kind of evidence admitted in court.
Roger that. You're always great on these topics. Thanks, Joshua.
Absolutely.
All right, Carly, you got some other hits?
I do, Lawrence. Check out this video right here. A $1 million luxury yacht tipping over into the water off the coast of Turkey on Tuesday, just 15 minutes after starting its voyage. It was the first time the 85-foot boat was launched after being delivered to its owner. The owner, captain, and 2 crew members could be seen jumping overboard as that massive boat sank. They were able to swim back to the shore without being harmed. Officials are now investigating what caused this yacht to sink. And to Florida, a quick-thinking 76-year-old tackling a 15-year-old suspect that police were chasing through a grocery store.
Stay on the ground. Taser, I got him. Stop resisting.
Whoa, quite the assist. The teen allegedly stole a jewelry box. When police were called, they spotted the suspect sitting on a bench near the store before he took running. Officials have not revealed what charges that teen is facing. And Trey Gowdy's brand new book, The Color of Death, already debuting at number 3 on the New York Times best-selling list and is number 1 on Amazon's selling chart. It's the first ever Fox News novel, taking readers inside the cat and mouse psychology of a killer. Trey used his own personal experience as a former prosecutor as inspiration. You can order The Color of Death now at foxnewsbooks.com. It is a fascinating read. Lawrence, over to you.
Way to go, Trey.
Yes.
Thanks, Carly.
You're welcome.
We've got more Fox and Friends coming up straight ahead.
Get RV show pricing now at every Blue Compass RV. All RVs must go, starting at $101 a month. Shop 100 plus locations coast to coast. There are 15,000 new and used RVs to choose from, exclusively at Blue Compass RV. Hurry in today.
Save up to 50% on select styles of beautiful new carpet, hardwood, vinyl, and laminate from Empire Today. We'll beat any competitor's offer, guaranteed. Visit EmpireToday.com or call
800-588-2300-EMPIRE.
Today.
At Bob's, furniture heroes like Jackie from finance keep costs low, so you can get our Consumer Reports recommended Treasure mattress,
feature-packed Athens Power sofa,
and real marble elm dining set at our everyday low prices.
Oh, my mom!
I got hooked on fentanyl. Before you do, look in the mirror. First, my teeth started to rot. Then, my skin turned blue. I started to age very rapidly. I lost my hair, my dignity, and every friend. And I will only be remembered drug user. Don't take fentanyl, because if you do, you'll be dead. Like me.
Join President Trump's fight to end the fentanyl crisis.
For one rival, it's a celebration. For the other, it's fuel for the fire.
This is that moment right now, man.
NFL kickoff on NBC and Peacock.
It's football season, and no matter who you cheer for, we all know how much college sports mean to us. But it's at risk. Dramatic changes are causing nearly every athletic department in America to operate in the red, forcing cuts, putting women's sports and Olympic dreams in immediate danger. The solution? Congress must modernize the Sports Broadcasting Act. That single change will generate the funding needed to protect all sports at all schools. Let's save college sports before the clock runs out.
Herbal Essences is a force of nature, made with supercharged botanical blends. Our sulfate-free formulas deeply penetrate to boost hair health without the Salon Naturals price tag. Herbal Essences.
Rise up this morning, smile with certain sun.
Sandals Jamaica sale is now on. For the best all-inclusive value in the Caribbean, visit sandals.com or call 1-800-SANDALS.
Did you know that your life insurance policy is an asset that you can sell? Hi, I'm Jay Jackson. I'm the CEO of Abacus Life, and for almost 20 years, we've been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. In fact, you can use the policy value calculator at abacuspays.com, and in just seconds, you can learn what your policy might be worth. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus.
The Tempur-Pedic breeze makes sleep feel cool.
So no more sweating all night or blasting the air conditioning, because the Tempur-Breeze feels up to 10 degrees cooler all night long. Don't miss our biggest sale of the year with savings up to $700 on select adjustable mattress sets.
Guys, stop what you're doing and head over to Fabletics, because right now everything is 80% off. That's right, everything, including their all-new Dawn pant. The pants that feel and look better than jeans. The lightweight, do-it-all one short and jogger. The training, Performance Tech Fundamental Short. Lined, unlined, and inseam options. Shirts, tees, polos, 80% off. Shorts, pants, joggers, 80% off. Gym, office, golf, 80% off. Whatever you need, Fabletics has it. Get 80% off everything right now when you sign up as a new VIP, only at fabletics.com.
911 emergency. We have a kidnapping. Your daughter is gone? There's a ransom note here.
We have a little 6-year-old girl that's murdered in her house.
None of the investigators were trained in homicide.
We were not about DNA at all.
This individual was on our top 20 list.
There were a number of items taken from the crime scene that were never tested.
He said, write down this name. And he said, just start there.
John Bonet, The Killer List. Streaming now on Fox Nation.
I hope so. Not negative.
Right.
Negative.
We're talking about Jennifer Aniston and how she stays so young. She says because she stays positive.
That's why you look young.
And Brian says that's his secret.
I did not say that's my secret.
Yes, he did.
I just was sharing small talk. I didn't think it was going to be cold open.
You know that happens when I'm on the couch.
Yes, it does.
Right. It becomes news. All right. It's 7 a.m. on the East Coast, and it's Thursday, September the 4th, and this is Fox and Friends. AI is on the forefront of the First Lady's agenda today. She's gathering her task force with a focus on education and preparing the next generation to use technology. We'll talk to U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright, who is on that task force, and he's here with a preview.
And 30 years later, the father of JonBenet Ramsey says he's, quote, more optimistic than he's been in years that his daughter's murder could finally be solved.
There's a high probability they'll be the ones that solve the crime. They want to finish Lou's work.
We're coming for you and you will be found.
John Ramsey will be here live this morning. Incredible.
Plus, a dramatic rescue after a woman drives her car straight into the sea. I'm going to show you what happens next. Fox and Friends story. It takes me a second to get over that.
I know, too. We're all like riveted.
It's jarring.
Fox and Friends starts right now. Remember, your mornings are better with friends if you're dressed. Happening today, First Lady Melania Trump is set to host a meeting at the White House about the AI task force she's putting together on education as she looks to prepare the next generation on how to use that technology.
Senior White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich is live from the White House with the details. Good morning, Jackie.
Hey, good morning to you guys. That's right. Today's event is going to feature remarks by First Lady Melania Trump, as well as the AI task force members and those private sector leaders who made pledges to invest in AI education across America. On that list, Google CEO Sundar Pichai, the chairman of IBM, Arvind Krishna, Cameron Wilson, the president of Code.org. All three of them are set to speak. We're also going to see remarks from Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins, Education Secretary Linda McMahon, Energy Secretary Chris Wright, Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer, and David Sachs, the White House Special Advisor for AI and Crypto Czar. In the audience, we'll see more than 100 private sector leaders who the White House says have pledged to support AI education or the Presidential AI Challenge, which was announced last month.
The President's National Artificial Intelligence Challenge invites every student in America, from kindergarten to 12th grade, to unleash their imagination and showcase the spirit of American innovation. Our educators will guide and empower you through this process to build a brighter, stronger future for us all.
The White House has framed the AI challenge as a natural extension of Mrs. Trump's commitment to education in the digital age, aligning with her Be Best initiative and the online safety bill that passed earlier this year and was signed into law, the Take It Down Act. We are going to see this event happen around 1 o'clock today in the East Room, guys.
I'm sure I don't have to tell you, Jackie, tonight, the president's going to have his tech roundtable, too, right? Everyone's coming. I mean, you got Gates is going to be there, Zuckerberg's going to be there, Pinchow's going to be there, but no Elon Musk today.
Yeah, notable from Elon. Not sure where that relationship stands.
Right. I'm going to look into it, Jackie, with my
Okay.
sources. I'm going to find out. Thanks so much.
Please do. Thanks.
Well, I think this is very important. I don't think there's any escaping AI. It's a part of the culture now. It is a valuable research tool. It is the new Google. So when you resist it, then you don't get to be a part of the regulation. There is some concerns when it comes to AI when kids are on it. There's even this whole mean things that happen. My mom on the weekend thought I was married because there's an AI generated of me going down the wedding aisle. But that's just how crazy it is that even your family thought, and the aunties thought it too. So there is some regulation that can happen, but I don't think we can put the genie back in the bottle.
Let's listen to what Mark Beckman, he is NYU Fellow of Emerging Technology. I interviewed him this weekend. Other people have been interviewing him on the network to get his take on her agenda. Watch.
The West Wing is absolutely right in selecting our First Lady, Melania Trump, to lead this presidential AI challenge. She's the only one in the entire administration, honestly, the only one at this caliber within the society that's used AI on her own. So I think what Melania Trump is doing here is really critical. She's helping guide our next generation of leaders into the future. AI is the underpinning of all of our business sectors, from the creative industries to finance to government and beyond. And it's good to have somebody in the White House, specifically our First Lady, Melania Trump, who's used AI to create products herself.
Right, because Mark's worked with her in the private sector, and he's the perfect person to do it. So I think this is going to be one of those roundtables where you're really listening to hear what they say instead of the performative side, because that AI is constantly changing. You need someone that's doing the changing. Right. But I think, well, Rachel, you're, well, how do you use it? But if you actually put the guardrails into kids at 7, 8, 9 years old and say, you know, we shouldn't be using it for this. We shouldn't be using it for that. You know, just like you can't be watching that channel. Right. You can't be using this without your parents. I think that that's a way to get it in early. But my thing is, I've never seen schools prepared to react to changing technologies. My grammar books were from the 1950s. So are we going to keep that
use AI? We should use human beings for that sort of thing.
Imagine telling an 8-year-old that. But don't use it for therapy.
But they are. But I think it's bigger than that. And again, I'm going to go meta on you here. I think it's not about how to use it. It's about who's creating it. The people creating this technology, this new AI world we're going to live in, people who I personally don't share their worldview. These are atheists. These are technologists. These are people who are transhumanists for the most part. And if you look at Pope Leo, when he was elected to be our new Pope, he said the number one the biggest issue facing humanity is AI. This is going to change our world. And the problem is the technology is moving faster than the ethical guardrails can keep up with. And this is a huge, massive problem for humanity. There's going to be massive displacement of people economically. I mean, there's going to be entire sectors.
But you can't stop it.
That's the same thing with computers, same thing with
But
.com.
we must slow it down for the ethics to catch up. That's just what we as humans can
Rachel,
do.
here's
we can't allow the technology to lead us. We are in control
But we
of it.
can slow down, but China's not going to slow down.
China. I don't want to be China. I want to be an ethical, Christian-based society that actually has guardrails, ethical guardrails.
Here's the other thing. Well, I don't know what
we
Henry...
we don't even have enough bioethicists and tech ethicists to keep up with this.
But I don't even know what Thomas Edison was like. I don't know what Henry Ford was like. I couldn't stop them with electricity and with the mass production of cars that destroyed the horse and buggy. So I think that I don't know. I don't really. Sam Altman's like as a person. I don't really care what religion he is. You know, I don't care what Elon Musk's like. I want to know they're moving forward and constantly in consultation with guys like David Sachs, who I think seems to me to be a great guy, and also I think that they are seeing eye to eye with the president on his political views. Yeah. Because they felt totally isolated by the previous administration.
I understand the commercial interests here, but I also think we are, as a culture, need to be very wary of what this is. And it's absolutely going to change the world in the way that the Industrial Revolution did. And I just think we need to be very careful.
We're going to have the Energy Secretary, Chris Wright, member of the White House AI Education Task Force. He's going to be coming up about 7:30 Eastern time.
We'll ask him about all that.
We should. We should.
All right. When it comes to what's happening in Chicago, I don't think I have to tell you the governor and mayor are using the president's push to bring crime under control as a personal Waterloo. They want to make sure that everybody knows that they don't want any help from the president, and crime is just fantastic there. You just got to accept a certain amount of crime when it comes to the cities. Now, when it comes to schools,